What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing not the latest chapter, Toriko 260. And I don't know what happened. Maybe they did 2 chapters in 1 week, or I missed a week. But apparently 2 chapters have already been released. So I felt the need, out of respect, to take out my own time and do 2 separate videos on each chapter, rather than be lazy and mush them all into one. So let's get started. This chapter of Toriko 260 was very simple. Long story short, it was Jiro sitting Toriko down and pretty much inspiring him to not give up and get out of this sort of depressed state, because he's sitting there for days not eating or drinking a thing, and he's depressed because he lost in this fight, and he felt like he couldn't even protect this one guy. He lost, and Komatsu's gone. So that's all the summary I'm going to give. I'm assuming you guys have read this chapter. For me, I felt it very, very cool. And first off, this reminds me of something. I can't remember what, but if you guys know, leave a comment, because this exact scene reminds me of something very similar that has happened before, and I don't know from what. And it may be just because I've read so many manga, watched so many movies, that I can't pinpoint exactly. I don't know if it was ripped off of some other manga or film. Most likely not, but just by coincidence, it sort of coincides exactly with something I for sure have seen before. This whole scene with the main hero, or a supporting character who was lost in this big fight, given it his all, and now he's depressed, and now someone's come back to cheer him up, and he's going to come back with a vengeance. And here's the eerily similar thing about it. The most similar thing, and I believe the coolest thing, is the fact that despite him not having eaten for so long, rather than his energy levels depleting, Toriko he's like booming with energy, like it's emanating from him, and we don't know why. Most likely it's some sort of, it has to do with him losing the fight and his gourmet cells potentially being activated even more. And most likely what happened was he just evolved, and now he's just brimming with energy. It's just shooting out of him, and he doesn't realize it. And that reminds me of some character or something, but it just puts a smile on my face, because it hasn't happened for a while, but this is a magic moment. Like, this is only a moment you could build up to after a lot of story and plot and twists and turns to get here. And looking back just very quickly on the last 100 chapters, wow. These are the chapters that I would recommend. These chapters are the reason I would recommend Toriko to anyone. And I've watched and read One Piece and Naruto and Bleach and a lot of good manga, but these last few chapters leading up to this, awesome. Are they a little sort of kiddish and naive? Well, I wouldn't call it naive, but are they a little bit kiddish? Yes, in a way. They are geared in certain ways towards a younger, sort of simpler audience. I'm probably on the upper end of things, and I obviously would like the certain things to be more complex, more mature content. No, I don't mean porn. I mean, like, for instance, this chapter, it was kind of naive and simpleton in certain ways. Like, the whole chapter is very simple and geared towards a younger audience who have not experienced a scene like this before. So I personally would prefer a little more complexity, a little more spice into the mix. And the biggest reason is because I know people who would love Toriko based on the last 100 chapters. But scenes like this are just a little bit overdone. Like it's too much. It's almost like Disney movies. It's like we've sort of outgrown it. And I think that's one of the reasons why Dragon Ball Z stands out. It spans a large audience from very young to very old, because it's not always so simple in terms of story and plot line and so forth. And this chapter, it was kind of like that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on that, because in certain ways it was exactly like that. It was like the whole chapter, 20 some pages, was just Jiro inspiring this Toriko guy to get back up out, and he's just depressed because he lost to this guy. The fight was amazing, don't get me wrong. It was fairly bloody, could have been more bloody in my opinion. Very gory, a lot of hardcore Dragon Ball Z-esque fighting, which I loved. I wasn't expecting this from Toriko, and I loved it. Thinking back to that fight with pretty much them just punching each other and like buildings crumbling and stuff like that, it was insane. So that's what I gotta say about that. The final thing would be well, two things. One is what Jiro said about Ichiryu. Apparently, it's now been revealed that Ichi was the oldest brother and thus the strongest, which means Jiro may not even stand a chance to Midora. But then again, Jiro was stronger. Jiro is older than Midora. So this is what the chapter confirms, which I already predicted and was already implied previously. And that was that Ichiryu lost on purpose to Midora, even though he could have beaten him. That's what this chapter confirms. It's a sad and noble thing. I don't really understand why he did it, but he did it. And I think, here's the thing, Midora, despite what Jiro assumes, Midora didn't kill off Ichiryu. He incapacitated him to the point where, like, Ichiryu couldn't move, but had the blue nitro not come in, Ichi would have been, he would have recovered and survived. I feel like that's what Midora would have done. But yeah, then the blue nitro came in, Ichiryu was too weakened to defend himself, and I truly believe Ichiryu let Midora win, which was sad, noble, I don't know why, but there you go. Then there's the thing with Jiro being older than Midora. So Jiro still has a chance, because Ichiryu is stronger than Midora. Maybe Jiro is too. We know Ichiryu beat Jiro, but that doesn't mean Jiro can't beat Midora. And we'll see what happens from there. Finally, the last thing is, what was it? The last thing, let me think. Yes, the last thing was Jiro asking Toriko, what's your dream? Think back to the past and recover your dream. And when I thought back, I believe Toriko's dream was always just to obtain a full course menu. That was it. And he wanted Komatsu's help, and that was it. So his dream was to do that with Komatsu. So most likely, my prediction is, it's fairly obvious. I'm hoping they'll spice it up somehow, but Toriko's going to train, get stronger. His cells have evolved, so he's much stronger now. And so they're going to go on multiple adventures, eventually take Komatsu back, and they're going to continue their adventures and struggles and fights with the Bishokukai, Neo, and now the fourth faction, the Blue Nitro, in the gourmet world. And they're going to leave the human world behind. That's my prediction. See you guys later, and very soon will be the 650... I forgot the number, but the next chapter review, speculation / discussion on Toriko. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And don't worry, in a couple weeks I'll have a lot of time to take up all the new manga, including Hunter x Hunter, if it's back from break, Naruto, Fairy Tail, One One Piece, and Bleach. See you guys later. But for now, I only have time for Toriko, so stick around for a week and it'll all be back. See ya.